Well, well, well. Welcome to, we got a special edition of Wednesday Night Fights tonight. This is not any old regular edition. I mean, there's still going to be games. There's still going to be learning. But first and foremost, I'm here with the answer. Let the people know who you are. Talk to our people, man.
How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, well, my name is Oscar. I go by the answer in the fighting game community. I've been playing KOF for a while, and I'm sure some of you guys know me in the past. But tonight, like you're saying, it's a very special night. We get a chance, exclusive chance, to try out the new game, King of Fighters 14.
Yes, this is the newest version of the game, 1. 2, they just had an exhibition at E3 thanks to Atlas, and now we're here live giving you guys the first taste. We want you guys to know how to play this game. Now, this is a little different than the other KOF games. The mechanics, basically the same.
It's changed a little.
Just a pinch. Not too crazy, but, you know.
I would say the biggest change so far has been the graphics.
Yeah.
We've gone from 2D completely to 3D models.
Right.
That's probably the major difference right now, and everybody has an opinion about it. Some people like it, some people don't. But at the end of the day, it's King of Fighters.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Now, I'm not the best at KOF.
Okay.
I'm not. I will come up front and say that. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not the best. But I know a guy. Some might say he is the best. I mean, he won Evo, so technically
he's proven that
he's proven to be the best. We are here with Arcade Shock's very own, my brother in Team Arms, Arcade Shock Reynolds. Shout outs to Reynolds.
Okay.
I mean, he's here. He's going to give you guys the rundown. And I figure if you guys want to learn something, it's best to learn it from the best.
A former Evo champion. It doesn't get any bigger than that.
Now, this is not going to be a regular tutorial. We're not going to give you the hush-hush, push-push, move along. We're going to give you the grease, the bread and butter, from the buttons to the combos to the comp. We want to give you guys the whole package, just a taste at least.
Yes.
And like I said, that's why we have the man here with us now. You know, we got the answer. We have Reynolds.
The answer to your question.
The answer and Reynolds to all your questions, all your needs. Make sure you guys are paying attention. And if you do have any questions, make sure you tweet at Level Up Series with your questions. Hashtag Wednesday Night Fights. Hashtag KOF14 XIV. And, you know, tag me. Tag Mr. The Answer KOF in it as well. All right?
Yes. And we're going to make it a fun night. Not just, your boring,
this is
true,
man.
This is the game, this is how you play. No, we're going to try to make it fun for you guys. We're going to have a few special events. We have a very special guest in the house.
Okay.
We're going to keep it a secret, though. We have to unlock this character. We have to unlock this character to the end of the
Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. But first off, just to give you guys, a rough tutorial of what's going to happen first. First off, we're going to go over the controls, basic controls. That means from punches to kicks, as well as there being 2 different layouts. Now, you can go into detail about these layouts.
Yes. So, well, we have the old school traditional arcade style Neo Geo rainbow inline setup that we're traditionally used to. If you're an old school player, if you're, I don't want to say my age, but if you're from the 90s, you're probably used to the rainbow inline style of gameplay. Nowadays, a lot of people do the square or 2-on-2.
Right.
2 kicks and 2 punches. 2 punches to the top, 2 kicks on the bottom. However, now that we have consoles, you can pretty much customize it to whatever you want to use.
That's true.
Now, we also have, if you can see, we have the shortcuts. We have the 2-in-1s, 2 kicks, 2 punch for 1 button. A lot of people, I know Randall likes to use that type of layout for the supers in a competitive match.
Yeah.
So that there's no errors. Just press 1 button, and you get your 2 punches instead of having to go for that double.
Okay. And you're 100% right with that. Like you said, the rainbow layout, more the traditional arcade layout.
Yes.
If you're coming from playing in an arcade, and God knows we don't have many of those left, you're probably running the rainbow style.
Now.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm a fossil too, if that's the case. Also, you have to remember, like you said, we do have the 2 punches, 2 kicks, 2 punches on top, 2 kicks on bottom. But like we said, Reynolds has a special input. He has a special layout because he's kind of a cheater.
How about if you show us your layout, Reynolds? What do you play with? What does a champion play with?
the mentality of a champion being displayed here, folks. I like how he slowly nodded like, yeah, I am the best.
and again, all this takes into play when you're in a competitive environment where you're trying to be the best. All of this comes into play from your button layout to your character select to your team synergy.
That's true. So now, as you can see, once Reno gets his button set up, now first off, we're going to start with the light punch, right? Light punch is one of the weaker sides, you know what I mean? It is the weakest attack next to, you know, light kick.
Right.
You have many variations of both of those light attacks. So you have crouching, jumping, standing, and for each character, they all have different ranges. So they might not reach all the time, but for the most part, these are tools that add up to something that can be a lot more effective, as you can see that.
For example, standing B, normal standing B for Benimaru. Look at the range on that.
Yeah.
You know, it's really good used as a poke compared to other characters who have a shorter range, like King have a shorter range. But then again, it all comes into play when you're choosing your characters, your style.
This is true. It's not something that that's locked to one character. They do all have different ranges. They all have different uses. And on top of that, once you think of things, when you put that into the movement and jumps as well, that actually plays a part too. So we have multiple jumps in KOF. It's not just one. It's actually, what, 3, right?
It's actually 4.
4 jumps? That is ridiculous.
Yeah, you have your normal jump, your super jump, your hop, and your hyper hop.
Now, when we get to the higher levels of the game, when you get versed and well-controlled in all these types of movements, it's going to be very integral to being accepted into the higher ranks of this game. It's very important to get control of that because, as you can see now, it's very important for movement style.
As you see, right, you see, you cover more space depending on where you're at. If you're close to your opponent, you're not going to want to do a super jump. I know some other players, maybe coming from Street Fighter, they're only used to one type of jump.
Right.
So here, you have to choose carefully which attack you want, which jump you want. What are you going to do? How are you going to jump? Is it going to be an empty jump? Are you going to be jumping with an attack?
Right. And also you have to remember, the thing about the hops are made personally to make sure sometimes you can stop in front of them. You want to stop short, and like you said,
you don't want to
sometimes
jump over
open them
them
up. You don't want to jump over. And on top of that, you can use it to get away. So like if you wanted to get away really fast, using those hops as a backdash can still get you in that situation. Now, on top of that, you still have running and backdashing. So you can cover a lot of that ground a lot faster than normal with a run. And even if you're not running, you can still backdash.
Right,
so like
correct.
I said, we don't have a training mode available. So what we're going to do is
we're going to go back and forth here in the character select.
Right.
But I believe Brandon's going to stick with Benimaru for the demonstration here. So, yeah, so we're talking about normals, shorts, standing A, standing B. We have the strong punch, strong kick. That comes to play for, you know, more optimal combos where you can link a command move.
Yeah. Well, like I said, for right now, let's continue to show them just like, yeah, there you go. Show them those punches. On top of that, like I said, show them the animation for running, backdashing.
Running, there you go.
See,
Backdash.
look how much further you go back on a regular backdash as opposed to a hop. Might be a little slower, but you can close the distance like you see right here with just runs themselves. And they do all change per character. All characters have different speeds and different hop backs, jumps as well. So that is something you have to take in mind. Now, basics-wise, when it comes to a character, every character can do what we just showed you. Every character has access to all those hops, backdashing, and dashes, and those punches, lights, and heavy kicks. So when you put that together with the movement, you have the special moves. Now, each character has a limited amount of special moves, but they all come into play once you get the package all neatly wrapped.
Well, before we go into the special moves, can we talk about the command 4B? Some characters have a special, there you go. So some characters you can actually combo into the command moves, makes it the combo extra longer and do a little more damage, makes it a little easier to combo. Some characters combo from a down B, a down A into a forward B. I don't believe Benimaru has that option here. Yori does have a down B, standing A for A into a combo. So from there, we go into the special moves now.
Right. So even with those special moves, you also have to keep in mind certain characters have like special normals as well. Like not all moves are, you know, projectile moves or super special moves. So some characters have like moves that lead into that you're going to use for combos, but you can use them as regular tools in the normal. So Benimaru, I believe he has like a snap kick, right?
Yes, he does have his lightning kick. It's really good at keeping your opponents out. You can follow up with a combo. You can super cancel it as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
But yeah, see, as you can see, he's displaying some of the normals right there. And like I said, these do vary per character. These aren't locked specifically to any one character other than the one that we're seeing right now. So you might want to test that out. just to make sure that we all understand it for the most part. I was just saying that the special moves themselves mixed in with the regular normals goes into that. Like I said, and there you go right there.
There, you get the super cancel. Now, one of the biggest changes in this game, as soon as Randall builds a meter, we can show one of the new features for this game. Now you can cancel into a super from a special move to a super with only 1 meter. In the past, you would have to use a drive cancel or an extra meter. So you would have to use 2 meters to go from a special kick to a super. See, right there. So he only used 1 meter. That's new in KOF. It's something I don't believe we've seen in the past.
Right.
KOFs, 13, you had the drive meter. You had to use 1 drive. King of Fighters 2002, you would have to use another meter to cancel into a meter. So this changes things a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. You're 100% correct on that. But like I said, for the newer people at home, this might be something that they can get used to relatively easy. Just canceling into and using supers, whatnot, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go ahead and show them the different levels. So where we have the 2-bar supers as opposed to the 1-bar supers as well. So we'll let this round run out, and then we'll let them get a little meter, and then we'll do it that way. So we do have supers that only use 1 bar.
Yes,
and then we have supers that use 2 bars. And then we have it's the critical, right? It's the critical supers or the critical arts.
Yeah, you have your climax. So you have your regular DM, desperation move, SDM, super desperation move, and then you have your climax. Level 1, 1 meter. Level 2, 2 meters. Level 3, climax, 3 meters.
And as you can see, wow,
And
I like that.
That was the level 2 SDM. As like to call it.
So, like I said, the way this works is we're going to let him get some more meter. But the way it works is you get meter by doing attacks and blocking as well as advancing on a target. You get that meter, you get maximum, and sometimes you get access to that bad boy right there.
There it is. Now, he did something new also for this game. He did the standing CD, which throws your opponent into the wall. Can you show us that a little more, Reynolds? So there you go. So after he's getting thrown into the wall, you can actually follow up with a combo. That's also a new technique in King of Fighters 14. Before, you would get a CD. It would just knock down your opponent. Now you can actually follow up. In the past, it's called counter wire, only when you get it off a counter.
Okay, and that's really, like you said, that is true. CD is basically a normal attack, but now it gives you a wall split.
Exactly. And you get that wall bounce where you can follow up with the combo. It's completely new for King of Fighters. It's never been in the past.
Right, and on top of that, you can use it as a jump-in attack as well. It gives you a hard knockdown. Yes. You can use it doing short hops as well. Really good tactic, a really good tool to use, and it's really good for keeping up pressure. Making people block that and have to deal with the guessing game afterwards is pretty important when it comes to learning the game.
That is correct. Also, CD attacks, when they're blocked, they take more damage off their guard meter.
That's 100% true. But like I said, all those things come into play. So we have specials, we have the movement, we have all your regular normal attacks, as well as CD jumping and on the ground that gives you a wall split. Now we're going to take it up just a little further, and we're going to give you some team synergy stuff and setups, whatnot, et cetera, et cetera.
That's right. Okay.
Now what happens here is, in this game, just like any other fighting game, you have to have setups to make sure your pressure stays consistent, as well as keep the opponent on their toes.
All right, so there, hard knockdown. See what he did there?
Yeah, that was really smart, actually.
There was some shimmy going on in there. He stepped back, rolled back in, low B. That's a perfect setup after a hard knockdown on an opponent.
Right, and in this game, tick setups are just as important, if not more important, because a large amount of the cast of KOF have command throws. We all know what command throws are, but the setups after it in this game are a little different than they are in other games, and they lead to different things for each character.
Correct. That is very true. Now, also, some command throws, they can be canceled into supers.
Right.
So, depending on what character you're using, cancel it into a super.
So let's see any kind of cool setups you got for us, Mr. Randall. Give the people
what
some stuff you want to hit them with.
What do you have for us, Randall? Show some cool stuff there. All right.
Okay, cool guy. Whatever, man. Okay, all right, cool guy.
And bounce him to the wall.
So, with that being said, these are the things you have to think about in this game. It's no different than any other fighting game. Even more so, acknowledging the tech and the options that you have available are really, really what you want to have in this game, especially considering the amount of jumps, the amount of different characters. Oh, wow, okay, all right. The amount of different characters, the different hitboxes, the new max mode system, which is another thing.
Max mode, I believe we need to talk about max mode. We haven't touched on that. Max mode allows you to use EX moves now. In the past, you need to use some meter. Now you can only use the EX moves for your specials during max mode.
Right. So, like you said, in previous games, they were accessible normally. You could just do EX moves, and they would cost you a bar.
Yeah.
But now, you can only access EX moves in max mode.
That is correct.
You always have access to max mode if you have one bar
meter
available. All you need is one. Now, that bar's length does change dependent on exactly how many characters you have left and what round you're in. So the more characters you have left, the smaller the bar. If you're the only character, the bigger the bar.
Another detail, if you activate your HD bar during a combo, after a normal, you cancel into the max mode, you get half of the bar. If you activate it in neutral, you get your full HD max mode bar.
Okay, all right, that makes a lot of sense. You got to make sure the people
Example
know.
right here, you see that? His max mode bar is shorter.
And like I said, that is a change from the previous game where you actually had it gave you kind of a custom combo feel with a bunch of cancels, where in this case, it only gives you access to EX moves, and then you get one cancel.
And one of the benefits of the EX moves, it's that some of them have different properties than your normal move. You get your invincibility. Some of them can make a combo longer. So that's where you go. That's the benefit of going to max mode and doing.
No, that's 100% true. And like I said, all these things actually do go into the overall scheme of things, especially when it comes to gameplay, as you can see here. Like I said, each character has their own special abilities where they can take advantage of, as well as you can see, now Reyes has control of the other character, Nguyen, I believe his name is. Each character has their own, like I said, special moves, attacks, and options, and those are things you need to keep track of with, the relatively large cast of 50 characters.
That's right. We're getting 50 characters off the bat in this game. Oh, nice. New super from Berimaru. Okay. So, let's keep that moving. See what do we have here.
So next up, we're actually waiting for you guys to send us any kind of questions that you guys have while Reyes gives you a few setups, shows you a few things.
That's right.
Actually, I already got a couple questions lined up for you guys.
All right.
Oh, nice.
So do me a favor, if you can, Kyobi, can you put them on the screen? Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Kyobi on the ones and twos helping us out here, ladies and gentlemen.
How nice is this? How often does this happen where you're watching a game that's going to come out, and you can ask questions online, get this answer. You don't even have to be here.
This is true.
Very rare. So
huge shout outs to Atlas for having us here and showing you guys.
Whoa, what KOF feels more like KOF 14 at Sakamoto Rick Cordero. Okay, well, I played pretty much every KOF since '94.
Right.
KOF 14 does feel a little different. Game speed wise, I would say it's the biggest change here.
Mm.
It's a good question.
So for me, while he mulls this over, I've played every KOF myself as well.
I gotta choose my answer wisely here.
Now, me personally, it feels more like KOF 98 to me.
98.
It feels a lot like 98 to me. As far as speed wise, when I play this game, I go a lot faster than I need to, and that gives me more of a 95 feel. So it's like it's a toss up between 95, 98, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
I suggest you wait till you get the game yourself.
I'm with you on that. It feels like two KOFs for me. It feels like 98.
Yes.
And 2002 UM. The game
really?
speed. The game speed feels like 2002 UM. I was actually playing last night, so because after I played at E3, I'm like, okay, this feels a little, familiar. So to me, it feels like 2002 UM and KOF 98. All right. What other questions do we have for you guys?
Well, like you said, you got to remember that comes from a KOF legend right here.
Voice right here. Hell Pocket.
Okay. All the questions. Okay, so Hell Pocket, shout out. He is an Arcade Shock member himself, so I have no problem answering these questions.
All right, and I have the answer for him. So just defend. It's a new system. It's a new mechanic it's being carried from another SNK title, which is called Garo, Mark of the Wolves, as we know it in America. Just Defend, it allows you to block an attack the very last second, very last frames. The benefits of that, so you get no guard meter gauge, so your guard meter stays the same, no chip damage, and you gain more meter. So when you're blocking an attack, you block a fireball, you gain meter. But if you just defend it, it gives you even more meter. It allows you to be safe from situations such as death by chip damage or a guard break. So if they have you in the corner, they're rushing you, they're about to break your guard. If you just defend the attack, they won't break your guard.
And to do that, it's just hitting back at the exact time that attack is hitting you, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, the time frame to do the just defend is not as open as Garo Mark of the Wolves. It's a lot more strict, but then again, the benefits. Once you master this technique, it's going to change a lot of things.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I mean, I hope that answers your question. I mean, that was a pretty well thought out answer. Thank you, Mr.
I believe I worked on this.
KOF. All right.
I did all my research on just defense before we.
So if you guys have any more questions, go ahead, shoot them my way. Okay. All right. Wait.
Okay. Can I jug after fireball A?
That's really specific.
That's very specific.
I'm not 100% sure. Hey, Reynolds, can we see if Rio can juggle after a fireball now?
Can Rio juggle after fireball A? Yeah. He was able to do that. Yeah, he was able to do that on KF13.
Okay.
How's that? Catering to the community, catering to Twitter. Who does this? Only Level Up, Wednesday Night Fights, Atlas, SNK.
Shout outs to Level Up. You guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Wednesday Night Fights, but we're giving you the KOF tutorial, the KOF rundown.
All right, so
we're going to get an answer to your question right now. So while he shows us if he can get some juggle after this fireball A, I'll take the lead on this one and say this game is definitely a lot more beginner friendly. This is coming from somebody that played the other games, could do a little of the harder stuff in the game, in the game's engine. This game is definitely a lot easier. Even when it comes to the harder combos, when it comes to like the HD stuff is no longer there. You get the one cancel, and the input for the most part is a lot more lenient than it was in the other games.
Yeah, that's correct. And here, Reno answering the question to our Twitter. Yes, Rio can combo after fireball A. Going back, can you put that question back on the screen about? Okay, so easier. Okay. So KOF. Another thing, we forgot to mention. There's auto combos here. If you keep on pressing A, can you show us an auto combo, please, Reynolds? If you keep on pressing A, some people are familiar with this. Persona, the fighting game Persona, came up with this mechanic. You just keep on pressing A, you would get an auto combo. You can stop it at any time, or you can go all the way into a super if you have meter.
Yeah, if you have meter, that super is always going to come out. Yeah. So you do have to be careful. Yeah. And like I said, you can cancel it, like you said, but for the most part, if you do have any
Can we
meter,
show Reynolds' hands just doing the auto combo so that people can see that he's just mashing A?
Mashing A like the scrub he is.
There you go. You can just mash your way out of this one. And if you have a meter, he will go into a meter. If you have no meter, it will go into special. There it is. That's another one. So that's another way SNK is making it easier for people to jump in. Again, you were touching on the subject. They removed the HD system, making it a little more simple. You don't have to go through all that execution, all those combos to get the damage.
All right, and we got time for one more question. What plans are there for the tutorial and trial modes? What will the timing for charge moves be? All right, see, now this.
Oh, okay, this is a very specific. Maybe the producer.
Yeah, this might be a producer question.
I mostly just pulled this for the charge one. I think maybe he could figure out the charge timing.
Actually, yeah, I guess. Hey, Rainer,
30 or 60 frames. I mean, I don't.
Charge timing. Do you feel like it's shorter in this game than it was in any of the previous game? The charge time for about the same.
About the same as 13.
Okay. All right. Reynolds says it's about the same. I'll take his word for it. I mean, he is the champ. So, if he says it, we'll let it rock for the time being.
About the same. And if people are looking for a little more specific answer to that, I believe in 13, the charge time was 30 frames for up-down moves or back-forward moves. Okay, and we're back.
So what we're going to do right now, we are going to take a break and then we're going to come back with a little more info on the game. So, guys, stay tuned. Be patient. Get some more of those questions lined up. We might come back to them.
Yes, sir.
But stay tuned.
Thank you very much.
Stage select.